Greetings, my beautiful lovelies. It's Emmy. How are you? It's great to see you and welcome back. Today we're going to be making a quick and tasty looking snack in 5 minutes with 3 ingredients. Now, I happen to be a person that likes savory things. I usually prefer savory to sweet, although I do like sweet things. But for breakfast, for example, I will always choose savory over sweet because I just like, but I do like myself a good dessert. But in this case, we're making a savory snack. We're making avocado fries. And I've seen a couple of different methods going around, and I'm curious to see if one is better than the other and if this is a tasty snack. And I imagine it to be because I love avocados. I really, really, really like avocados. Pretty much every way I've had an avocado, I've liked it. I've even had it with coffee before. Have you seen that video? I did it a few years ago. It was coffee and avocado together. Avocado as a dessert is delicious too. I'll put a link down below to that video in case you missed it. But today we're going to be making avocado fries. This has been around for a little while. I think it's been repopularized by those that follow a keto diet because this contains 3 ingredients: avocado, cheese, and egg. All of those are keto friendly. And so it's a nice little way you can make a little snack, but have lots of protein as well. So let's go ahead and get started. As I mentioned earlier, there are 2 methodologies. One will be a mashed up one where we form the fries out of mashed avocado, and the other will be whole avocado slices that will be dredged in cheese. So let's get started. I have half an avocado left over from lunch, which is great, and I have the whole avocado here. First of all, how do you pick a good avocado? It should be kind of soft. It should just give a little bit under your thumb. Oftentimes, avocados will be very green when you get them at the supermarket. And that's actually, in my opinion, a good thing because then you won't get one that's overripe. So get one that's greener and then keep it on your countertop. And that way you can check on it daily to see when it is perfect for eating. And it should just give a bit under your thumb. It shouldn't be just soft and squishy, or definitely not loose under the skin. Just kind of give under gentle pressure. If it's hard, don't open it. I've done that so many times with hopes that it's ripe inside, and it never is. And then it won't ripen. You think, oh, maybe if I close it back up and put it back in the refrigerator, maybe the next day it'll be ripe. No, it'll still be hard, and you've just wasted your avocado. Other people have said that you can just remove this little thing, and when this thing pops out nicely, it's ready, I suppose, but then you have a hole, and then you potentially could get mold and stuff, so I don't recommend doing that. Like, you open this at the supermarket, and then it's gonna go bad on that spot. So yeah, don't do that. So when it comes to avocados, I like to hold it and turn it and then twist it to reveal the avocado. Beautiful. Now, oftentimes you'll see people take a knife and tap it into the pit and give it a twist, which is a great way to loosen the pit, but it's also a great way to hurt yourself. So another way to do it is simply just squeeze the avocado a little bit. Squeeze it, and the pit will kind of, see that, loosen? And then you can just pry it out, right? Same thing with this one. Give it a little squeeze, squeeze, and it'll loosen the pit, right? And then you can just pop it out like that. Boing. So there are 2 methods of cooking these. You can cook them in an air fryer, which is what I'm going to do, or if you don't have one, you can also use a very hot oven at 425, 450 degrees. Air fryer, I'm going to use 400. So some of these I want whole. So I'm just gonna take a spoon and scoop it out. You could do it that way. And then you can slice them in this way, or you can slice it on the cutting board, which is probably what I would show my kids because, again, I don't want them cutting in their hands. So, you know, you could do that too. But that's what I normally do. And then you've got perfectly sliced avocado. And I'm going to put it right here on this plate. I'm also going to be doing a mashed version, and this is the fastest way I've discovered to get the avocado out without using a spoon, and I'm going to mash it up anyways. All I do is just squeeze it. Just squeeze it like this into a bowl. I do this when I make guacamole, and you kind of get like a preemptive squash, and then you get all the avocado out of the peel, right? So easy. And then for this last one, I'll show you that other technique I was talking about. So if I was showing my kids how to do this, I would use a spoon and scoop it out first, right? Then put it on the cutting board like this, and then cut it this way. so you're not cutting into your hand. And I'm cutting them about a little bit thicker than 1/4 inch, just so that they hold their shape a bit. There's some structural integrity when we want to dip. So I'm actually going to use the outside pieces for the mash because they're kind of small and stubby, and keep the inside ones for the fries. So avocado prepared in 2 ways, mashed and sliced. Next, we need some egg. So I have 1 egg right here, and since this is just 1.5 avocados, I can just use 1 egg. You can adjust this recipe to what you've got on hand. I'm going to use 1 egg for both of these recipes. So I'm going to add half this egg to the mashed mixture, and the other half I'm going to use to dredge. So mashed version, we have our egg, we have avocado, and now we're going to add Parmesan cheese. Pre-shredded stuff, and then mush that up. I am going to add some pepper. There should be plenty of salt in the Parmesan cheese, so probably don't need any salt. Plus, if you're gonna dip, that's gonna have salt in it too. So I'm just using pepper. So it's kind of like a guacamole, but do not eat this. Well, I guess you could if your eggs are fresh. I know some people are squeamish about raw eggs, so you do what you wanna do. I think I'm gonna add a little bit more cheese. Pinch more cheese, because I want that cheese really to show up. And we want this to be thick enough that we can kind of shape it. All right, so that's it, simple. Now on a piece of parchment paper, I'm gonna shape these into fries, or just sticks, right? Don't wanna make them too skinny because we wanna be able to pick them up. Because I think that's a big part of the pleasure of French fries, is the kind of pick up ability of them, you know, the kind of noshy aspect of it. So just using my fork to kind of shape them into logs. Looks like I'm gonna get 4 fries. Okay, I'm gonna pop these into the air fryer and cook them for about 5 minutes at 400 degrees or until they're nice and golden. They don't really need to be cooked. I mean, I guess you have to cook the egg, so I shouldn't say that. So yeah, until they're golden and beautiful. Right now they kind of look like pea snacks or something. Look at that. Alrighty, well, version 1 is going. Let's work on version 2. So for this one, we're gonna use just the tiniest little bit of flour, probably just a tablespoon or so, just to help the cheese adhere to the avocado slices. So spread our avocado out, and I'm gonna add just a little bit of seasoning, just a bit of garlic powder, just to see what these are like with some different flavors, and some paprika. So these are a little bit more like seasoned fries, and just a little bit of white pepper. I really like white pepper. Again, I'm not going to do salt because we're just coating these in cheese. Now we're going to dust with a bit of flour, just a bit, not even a tablespoon. This is going to be less than a teaspoon. So flip them over. And whenever you're dredging anything, whether it's chicken, tofu, avocado, a little bit of flour will help your batter stick, especially to things that have moisture or that have a slippery surface, like avocados or shrimp. Just a little dusting of flour. Now we're going to take that remaining egg that we have beaten up, I'm going to dip into the egg, and then into some shredded Parmesan cheese. Okay, spread that a little bit, and dip into the cheese. So whenever you're dredging, it's nice if you can do one hand that's wet and one hand that's dry. Kind of helps keep things a little bit tidier, at least your hands a little tidier. So Look at that. That looks beautiful already. Set that aside. He uses quite a bit of cheese. This is gonna be good. So these two you can either air fry or bake in a hot oven for about the same amount of time. 5-10 minutes, depending on your oven, at 400 degrees air fry and about 425, 450 in your oven. Alrighty, just enough egg for my half of avocado. Ooh, I'm smelling this. This is smelling good. So, whenever you cook, always use your nose. So, oh my, look at that. Ooh, that's looking fabulous. So we'll just swap these out in 4 or 5 minutes as well. Alrighty, so while we're waiting for our sliced fries to fry up, let's give these ones a taste. What do you think? They look almost Halloween-y, right? But they toasted up pretty nicely. Oh, they could be a little more cooked on the bottom, I think. Top looks good. Alrighty, let's give my first avocado fry a taste. Itadakimasu. Oh, that's good. Cheesy, savory. But honestly, if someone were to give this to me, if I was blindfolded, I don't know if I would know that it's avocado. Maybe because it's warm and in this kind of hand snack kind of form, I don't think I would equate it to avocado. The texture inside is like guacamole. It's really soft and mashed. And the predominant flavor is really the Parmesan cheese. I don't really taste the avocado per se. That one had a little bit of a cheese pull. It's warm. Definitely salty enough. And not at all eggy. Okay, now I'm tasting some avocado. I love avocado. It has a very specific richness that I so very appreciate. I'm not sold on the texture though. Kind of mushy, warm texture. I don't know. I think I'd much rather just have mashed avocado, but I usually like mashed avocado on toast. So this is what it looks like inside. Bright green. Isn't that color gorgeous? Bright green. It almost looks like mashed peas or something, but it's much softer in texture than what I associate with a fry. Very squishy because it's like a guacamole. All right, let's try the second batch. Ooh, these are looking beautiful. Look at that. I think those might be ready. Maybe just one more minute. One more minute just to make sure they get nice and crispy. Because I think that's what I'm missing in this version. It's not very crisp. Although the cheese is caramelized on the outside, I don't have any crispness, and that's what I associate often with a fry. It's more like a soggy fritter. Yeah, a tasty fritter, but soggy. Alrighty, let's get back to the other version. All right, I think these are done. Oh, they smell great. Let's see this. Now, I appreciate the shape of these and the kind of natural fry shape of them. It's pretty clear what they are, as opposed to this. This looks a bit mysterious, right? You're not quite sure what that could be. This, you're like, oh yeah, maybe that's an avocado covered in something browned and delicious. Okay, lovelies, let's finally try the second version. These look pretty spectacular. Well, these look a little bit mysterious, right? They look like Frankenstein logs. Well, these look like, okay, maybe something deep fried, something delicious. This is the front, looks beautifully toasted. The bottom, on the other hand, looks a little bit wet. Not as crispy as it could be. Now that I've seen this, it probably would help if we turn them over and brown them on the other side, but I've already taken them out. Let's give them a taste. Here we go. Itadakimasu. Okay. I think this is the way to go immediately. Immediately, I notice there's a difference in texture. This has the crunch I'm looking for. Very hot and tasty. The predominant flavor again is the cheese. The cheese really takes over in terms of flavor, and the avocado is very much muted because of the cheese, which I'm a little disappointed by because I really love the inherent flavor of avocado. But this has the texture I'm looking for. It's a nice little crust on the outside. Reminds me a little bit of when you have zhuzhed up French fries. You know, French fries that have a little bit of a coating on the outside. That's what this reminds me of. And this version has the ease of pick up ability. While this one felt a little bit floppy, this one definitely feels more structurally sound. Ooh. And it has a great crunch. And more of a toasted flavor. I feel like the cheese is able to caramelize and toast up better because it's more exposed to the heat rather than in the batter form where it's kind of infused. I prefer this. The cheese can really do its golden brown toastiness and offer some flavor. Surprisingly, that little bit of garlic and white pepper didn't really alter the flavor all that much. It gave it a little bit more pizzazz, but it was not really a deal breaker either way. So you can zhuzh them up if you want or not. Just the cheese is really the star here, more so than the avocado, sadly. I've seen some people make a dipping sauce with this and dip them. I don't think it's really necessary, but by all means, if you like yourself a dipping sauce, something like a spicy mayo is what I've seen, which is really simple. You just take some mayo and sriracha, mix them together, dip, dip, dip. It could make it even more like a fry experience, but for me, these are plenty flavorful. Would I make them again? Probably not, if I'm honest. But if you're looking for a cute appetizer that takes almost no time at all, total time, 10 minutes tops, maybe this is for you. Oh, you know what would be really good with this? Some pickled jalapenos. A little bit of acidity to go with all that richness. A little bit of heat. That would be fantastic. You can make these into nachos. Just put some pickled jalapenos on top. A little bit of lime juice. Yes, I think that's what it needs. Alrighty, my lovelies, there you have it. Avocado fries, 2 ways. I definitely prefer the dredging and dipping into the Parmesan cheese more than the smashed and reshaped version. Better texture and, to me, better flavor. Alrighty, my lovelies, thanks as always for watching. I hope you enjoyed that one. I hope you learned something. Please share this video with your friends. Follow me on social media, like this video, subscribe, and I shall see you in the next one. Toodaloo, take care, bye! Something about cheese toasted is just so good. Like, it concentrates. Cheese concentrates and just changes in a way that's so delectably nutty, crisp, and delicious. It's what makes cheesy toast so delicious. Mm-hmm.